Hi guys, so today I'm reviewing this Feelworld COB light that I got off of Amazon. Now Feelworld has been around for a few years. I mean, I've got monitors from them from probably over a decade ago. So I was excited to see that they're kind of getting into some lighting stuff. So when I got this, I had high hopes, but I'm just gonna say I was disappointed with it. This is actually not the original light that I got. The original light that I got had so many issues that the customer service people said, hey, send it back to us. We'll send you a new one. They were actually replacing, looking for like a new fan unit. They had some other issues that they were sussing out with it. So after I ordered it, I had to send it back to their warehouse here in the US. And then a month and a half later, when I finally got this. So, I'll first start with some of the good things. One of the good things about it is it comes with a nice soft padded case. Well, not soft as in, it's actually hard, hard case. So, but it's really big. I mean, you can see how massive this thing is. So, I mean, looking inside, they could have definitely made it smaller, I feel like, by rearranging some of the compartments to put this in here, because there is some dead space. Not that you can fit a lot of other accessories in here. You might be able to get a couple of power cables in. But it is a plus that it actually comes with the case, because there's plenty of lights on Amazon that you're going to get and they're just going to come in the cardboard box and that's it. So being able to pack it all down into here is nice. Just would have been better if they'd made it a little bit smaller to save on space. Now the light itself, you can see, is pretty beefy. My lighting units of choice are the aperture lights. So for comparison, here is the Amaran 100, and so you can see it's just a little bit bigger than the 100, a little bit longer, but other than that, it's kind of like similar form factor. Now it's made out of plastic, right? And then the light stand mount is the aluminum. So everything very solid. There's no loose pieces. All the buttons and dials here in the back where you can adjust, the effects, or if you want to adjust, brightness, that kind of stuff. It all feels really nice feel to the dials and all that. So definitely plus there. It has the standard bones mount here on the front, so you can mount whatever light modifiers that you want on there. This is a little bit on the tight side, so I had to kind of finagle to get this reflector on here. So just be aware of that. I don't know if it's just quality control or if all the lights are like that. But I could definitely see it being an issue if you have like a big softbox or something you're trying to get on there. It's not the easiest to get it screwed on there. That being said, other reviewers have mentioned, this is definitely a hard source light. It's going to give you harsh shadows. So if you're just getting into lighting, you definitely either want to get a modifier, which is going to put some sort of fabric or something in front of the light to help kind of diffuse it and make it softer, especially if you're doing, interviews or something, or something that works really easy is just bouncing it off of a wall. So instead of shining it straight at a person's face, you can shine it, I mean, heck, you can even shine it off the ceiling. Or if you have a wall that's in front of them, point the light at the wall so that the light reflects off of it onto the person. And you're going to get that nice, soft, even look without super hard bright spots on it or on your face or the skin. Now, something that I did like about this is actually the reflector here. Other lights that I've gotten, when you put the reflector on, it's going to have really harsh gradations where there's a bright spot in the middle and then almost like steps where it goes a little bit darker, a little bit darker, a little bit darker. This, though it does have the bright spot in the middle, which pretty much all these lights do, it has a nice, soft, even fall off all the way to the edges. So that's definitely a plus, because even some of the higher end lights, I've noticed that depending on how they have the reflector built, you're going to have that, harsh fall off. So anyway, so plus to Feelworld for that. Now, brightness wise, it's a little bit brighter than my Amaran 100D. So, it's plenty bright that if you're in, kind of a dark room, you want to use it as a key light, use it as a fill light, that's great. It's not going to be able to, combat the sun if you have sun coming in through a window, if you're trying to be outside. But for, interior office stuff, like, that's going to be fine inside a studio. It'll be good for that. Now, the biggest issue I had with the last light, and an issue that or the last version of this light, an issue that I still have with this version, is the fan noise. Now, it's not super, super loud, but it's definitely present. You can definitely hear the hum. The fan in this version that I have here, it's not a horrible sound. The first version that I got, it was this really high-pitched, grating noise, which would have been horrible trying to remove in your audio track. This is just a low hum. It's definitely there. I don't see it being an issue to remove, but I'm like, there shouldn't be. I mean, compared to, my aperture lights and stuff, I mean, it's, exponentially louder. I mean, you can be across the room, and if you listen in a quiet room, you can still hear it. Uh, my philosophy, especially when it comes to audio, is getting as clean a audio as possible, because you're most of the time you're going to have some sort of issue you're going to have to deal with. So the less issues that you can start with, the easier the process is. So I personally find this a challenge to use unless you're using it quite a ways away from your talent, because it's just going to add extra noise into your audio channel. Another issue that I have, which is a really kind of fiddly issue, and you would think it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but I'm kind of like, really? They didn't do that? Sorry, I got cabled all over the place. Another issue that I have with this is the power cables. Now it has a, like standard lights has a nice solid power brick. It is nice that it comes with this little Velcro strap. So what this is for, so you can actually hang it on your light stand. So if you're trying to get, or your C-stand, if you're trying to boom the light up and out, you can hang this on there and get it up off the ground and then run your light to it, so you have plenty of cable and you're not trying to like Velcro it on, yourself. Now, what's really funny is they don't include a US power adapter on the end of the power block cable. I've talked to them and they said they are going to be shipping out cables. I'm assuming they're going to be sending me one because I already ordered this. The kit does come with a little pack of travel adapters, which I'm sure you've seen those on Amazon, or if you do any sort of traveling, you got to have some of these in your case. So you can obviously adapt it for the US plugs, but one of the issues is that it's only a two-pronged, so there is no ground, and so that is definitely can be a safety issue, especially with a light like this where you're going to be drawing, decent amount of power for long periods of time. And why they wouldn't just include a US power adapter is, or a US power plug on the end, is beyond me. It makes it feel like this light was obviously made for a different market, a different country, and then they just pushed it into the US market. You don't have the proper power cable. The fact that they include these little kind of janky, power adapters on there is not very professional. It's not something you want your client to be seeing as you're, plugging in your lights on set. And the fact that the fan is still noticeably noisy, and it's not just after running it for an hour or something at full brightness. I mean, it's after a minute at full brightness, the fan kicks on full speed, and it's there. You can't do anything about it. In my opinion, this light is not ready for market yet. Even the app, when they first released this light, the app was all in Chinese. And so there was no way to, unless you knew Chinese, there was no way to know how to register to be able to get access to it, because you have to create an account to be able to control this via the app. Thankfully, they've updated the app and now it's in English. But it's like, really, guys, like, you're going to sell it and even the app isn't in English yet. You can control all your lighting functions from this back LCD screen back here, so you don't need the app, but if you have multiple lights, the app is nice because then you can control them all directly from it without having to get up or move around or anything. So overall, I mean, price point, there are other lights out there that I feel like are more mature and don't have the same issues that this has. But if you're already kind of in the Feelworld ecosystem, I mean, this light is build quality. It's great. It puts off a lot of light. But just be aware of the noise issue, as well as the issue with the plug adapter not actually being made for the US.